Hey guys. So, just wanted to show you, I changed my mind. If you watched my last video, I changed my mind, or if you prefer, I lied. I'm going to do it a little bit different. And I'll show you the brand of glue or dental adhesive I use, and why, and how much. So, start with why. Why I use adhesive to begin with. Because the seal between my dentures and my bridge of my mouth and my gums is not perfect. And I don't want to have to constantly create a suctioning situation where I'm constantly in order to keep my teeth in place. And then, depending on how hard the items you're eating are or how tough they are, makes a huge difference whether you use glue or not. So, and I'll show you in a later video, eating with denture adhesive and without denture adhesive. But the amount of bite force, the amount of like pounds per square inch you have with the adhesive is probably magnitudes higher than, well, maybe not magnitudes, but it's a lot higher with adhesive than not, because it keeps your teeth from rocking back and forth, and it keeps the cantilever type situation going and them being loose. So I've been using Fixident, and the so this isn't the extreme stuff. So I find that if I use this stuff, it's good for about, depending on what I'm eating, between 4 and 10 hours, depending on how much I eat, how many fluids I'm drinking, if they're hot, they're cold. You know, if you eat nothing but hot foods and drink nothing but hot fluids all day, like if you're sipping on hot coffee, hot cocoa, hot cider all day, it's going to help dissolve this stuff a little bit. So it's not going to last quite as long. And then if you're eating nothing but really tough foods, if you're eating steak for 3 meals a day and pickles and hard candies, this stuff is probably not going to last the 8 or 10 hours. You know, it might, but you're really kind of tempting fate. Oh, I just dropped it, but I caught it like a ninja, like a ninja. Anyways, now there's the extreme stuff, and that stuff will hold, I found, just about a minimum of 8 hours for my denture set and my gum situation. Now, the reason I like this stuff over like Polydent or any of the other types is, number one, it's got this small opening in there, probably 1/8 of an inch or so. I don't know if it's going to focus on it or not. See if I change camera angles and yeah, so you can kind of get an idea on there. Give it a little squeeze. So you get a pretty small bead, which gives you quite a bit of control, and you can put it there pretty good. So the more you wear them, the more you'll notice where they contact better, and you can put the adhesive there, and then you can also use the adhesive to fill in gaps. So there's a fine line between too much, not enough. Not enough, they fall out, they don't stick very good, whatever the case may be. You can always add a little more. It's messy, it's a pain in the butt, but you can do it. Too much, and you get squeeze out. You get it that comes out up above the denture, and you get like these pockets of like, it's almost like chewing gum that squeeze out. It's annoying. You can scrape it off, you can let it dissolve. You probably shouldn't eat this much any more than you have to. A lot of them will say reduced amounts of zinc and other stuff, just because you'll probably be getting lots of it. I also pick no flavor, because I don't want little bits of it seeping out every time I drink and tainting whatever I'm eating with flavor. You know, like spearmint or whatever the case may be. Like, this is a great steak with spearmint. This is good coffee with spearmint. You know, this is chocolate cake with spearmint. You know, I mean, I don't know. That's just personal preference. Maybe you like spearmint. Maybe you like whatever flavor they have. Scope. I think it's scope flavored. They have one. And I'm like, this is steak with scope. Dr. Pepper with scope. What am I, like a hidden alcoholic? And drinking this. Oh, I don't think scope has alcohol in it. So Listerine. Whatever. Anyways, so now I'm just kind of rambling. Anyways, so this is stuff I use mostly because it adheres pretty good. It doesn't feel gritty. Some of the other brands feel like they got a little bit of grittiness to it. It sticks really good. So if you sleep in or you put it in, you're only gonna have your teeth in for a few hours. Don't use much, or maybe find a brand that you know doesn't work very good just for that purpose. Because if you put this in, I've actually peeled away thin layers of my gums because this stuff stuck to it that well, and I only had them in for a few hours. If I got up late, had to pull them out for whatever reason. Sometimes you get like a peppercorn stuck in there, or it's like having a little piece of grain of sand stuck. It's like having a piece of sand or a rock stuck in your shoe, except your shoe is made out of wood or metal. Because when a rock stuck in your shoe, the shoe is actually absorbing a lot of the pressure. It's a hard spot, so you feel it, but it's almost, if you're stepping on that same rock on the ground, it would hurt your foot that much more because the shoe takes space. Anyways, I'm rambling. You get the point. I'm kind of wasting time here. So I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed. My wife's actually doing work because she's good at that. So I'm going to bring you in kind of close and we'll see what I can do here. So I'm just going to show you generally how I apply and how much I apply. So again, I'm not left-handed, but basically I will go like this. Oh no, it's a little bit sloppier than I normally would. So I will come short of the ends, because when you squish it out and the stuff becomes squished really thin, it will come all the way to the end there. And I'll usually put an extra bead just like that right there, just because this part sheets pretty good on my gums, but when you put pressure in there, it'll squeeze out to other portions. So there's a little bit of gap here, a little bit of gap there, a little bit of gap there, but it's not much. So if I put too much more than that, I'll get squeezed out everywhere. So wife's trying to be sneaky. You're not sneaky. Oh, I just turned the camera on to myself. That didn't work. Whatever. Anyway, so dentures installed. So I usually use my teeth, or my tongue, or my thumb. Make sure they push in there pretty good. Pretty solid. Shouldn't wiggle. You're going to have a tiny bit of looseness because the adhesive is not cured. But you want to give them about 10, at least for me, 10 minutes, 15 minutes longer before you start eating. Drinking cold beverages isn't too bad, but you want to give the stuff a chance to actually bond, I have a little bit of squeeze out into my upper lip, so I'll see if I can show it to you. So you got that flap. You can't hardly see it, but there's a tiny bit that squeezed out. You can feel it. Kind of see the roughness there. This is a great thumbnail pic, I bet. Anyways, so that's one. Put the other one in here. So, wow, that's horrible. So usually I'm way more accurate than that, but perspective is definitely messed up when you have, oh god, the wife's breaking stuff, when you have one hand. Anyways, let's see how that works. I don't know why, but I always want to put these in upside down for some reason. Oh god, that's not good. Let's rinse that off without. So, hot water before it had a chance to adhere. So for the most part, it's gone. Ignore my sink. It needs to be cleaned a little, but whatever. So now mine, there's a little bit of a lip, so I kind of got to rock them in to get them to lock in. Then I go like that. No real squeeze out. Pretty good fit. All right, this video is crazy long, so bye guys, and catch you in the next one.